The most successful footballer turned owner didn't start with Real Madrid or Barcelona connections. He wasn't even the most talented player of his generation. But this English midfielder turned a $25 million investment into a $1.2 billion empire that now attracts the world's greatest talents to American soil. Today, you'll see 5 football legends who transformed from pitch performers into billionaire club owners. 5. Juan Mata, San Diego FC. Starting at number 5, Juan Mata made headlines in November 2024 by joining San Diego's FC's ownership group during their MLS expansion phase. This Spanish maestro became the first active international player to hold an MLS ownership stake. Some kind of achievement today, as he positions himself at the ground floor of America's fastest-growing soccer market. I think Mata's genius lies in perfect timing. While other players chase final contracts, he secured equity in a franchise that hasn't even played its first match yet. San Diego FC is more than football. They have a lifestyle brand targeting California's tech billionaires and entertainment elite, who view soccer as the next major American sports investment. His Valencia penthouse overlooks the Mediterranean, but Mata's real focus is building relationships with Right to Dream Academy system, which is a key part of San Diego FC's ownership structure. The former Manchester United playmaker who won everything in Europe now controls marketing strategies and community partnerships that could generate wealth for decades. His investment philosophy seems brilliant if you look at it. He wanted to enter American soccer before valuations exploded completely. Speaking of that, MLS expansion teams typically see 300 to 500% valuation increases within 5 years, and Mata positioned himself perfectly to capitalize on this trend. The player who created magic at Stamford Bridge now creates business opportunities that extend far beyond the 90 minutes. 4. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Hammarby IF. At number 4, the legend Zlatan Ibrahimovic shocked Swedish football by acquiring a 23.5% stake in Hammarby IF, the bitter rivals of his boyhood club Malmö. Man, this wasn't just business. This was harsh. And this was strategic controversy that literally generated more media value than most advertising campaigns ever could. Zlatan didn't buy random shares. He partnered with AEG Anschutz Entertainment Group, acquiring 50% of their ownership interest in one of Stockholm's most passionate football clubs. Zlatan's finally using his genius mind in the business. AEG's global sports expertise, combined with Zlatan's Swedish cultural influence, creates a partnership that most investors never access. His Stockholm compound features private training facilities, but Zlatan's real wealth comes from understanding that emotional investment generates more sustainable returns than purely financial speculation. Fun fact here, Malmö has literally tried to burn down his statue when the deal was announced, but at last they cut off the statue's nose after he invested in the rival club. I'm not kidding. Look at this. You can see Zlatan's ownership choice created exactly the cultural impact he intended. Hammarby's fan engagement exploded by 400% within months of his investment, while merchandise sales reached levels typically reserved for international tournaments. His ownership philosophy targets passionate fan bases over traditional metrics. He knows that Swedish football emotion translates into commercial opportunities. The striker who conquered Europe's biggest clubs now owns a piece of Swedish football culture that appreciates in value every time Hammarby scores. At 43 years old, Zlatan knows that controversial ownership choices generate more wealth than safe investment strategies ever could. 3. Gerard Piqué, FC Andorra. Breaking into the top 3, Gerard Piqué achieved something unprecedented. He transformed a 5th-tier Spanish club into a Segunda Division competitor through his Cosmos investment group. This Barcelona legend didn't just buy FC Andorra, he completely reimagined what lower league football investment could achieve. Piqué's Cosmos Group acquired the club when it was playing in Spain's regional Catalan division, then invested over €4 million in infrastructure, player recruitment, and stadium modifications that enabled 4 consecutive promotions. His approach really impressed me. While competitors buy established clubs with massive price tags, Piqué identified untapped potential in a tiny nation most investors completely ignore. Believe it or not, FC Andorra's rise from 5th tier to Segunda Division is one of football's most dramatic transformations. This just proves that strategic investment in the right market can generate extraordinary returns. His Barcelona connections opened doors to La Liga infrastructure expertise, while his global brand recognition attracted sponsorship deals that most second division clubs never access. The investment included €26 million stadium development plans that position FC Andorra for potential La Liga promotion. I think this move could multiply club valuation by 1,000% or more. Piqué's Andorran compound overlooks the Pyrenees, but of course, his real focus is building a football empire that leverages tax advantages and European competition access that most investors overlook. Clever move. His ownership philosophy targets geographic arbitrage. In case you don't know, it means finding undervalued markets where strategic investment creates disproportionate returns. So, the defender who won everything at Camp Nou now controls a project that could become La Liga's most unlikely success story. 2. Kylian Mbappé, Stade Malherbe Caen. At number 2, Kylian Mbappé literally shocked the football world by becoming majority owner of Stade Malherbe Caen at just 25 years old. Yes, guys, his Coalition Capital Investment Fund bought 80% of the club's stakes from Oak Tree Capital Management for approximately 15 to 20 million euros, while also assuming portions of the club's debt. You call this ownership? I call it strategic empire building. Mbappé didn't choose Caen randomly. Of course not. This Normandy-based League Two club sits perfectly positioned for a visionary who understands modern football economics and player development infrastructure. His Paris penthouse overlooks the Eiffel Tower, but Mbappé's real focus is his Caen training complex, where he's implementing data analytics systems and youth academy programs that could revolutionize French football development. The deal structure reveals genius-level thinking. Coalition Capital negotiated performance escalators that could multiply returns exponentially if Caen achieves League One promotion. His ownership philosophy targets long-term asset appreciation here. If you think about it, Caen's potential promotion could increase club valuation by 500 to 800% within 3 years. Most traditional investments never approach such returns. We are all well aware that Mbappe's Real Madrid salary funds his lifestyle, but his Caen investment builds generational wealth that extends far beyond his playing career. So yeah, the striker who conquered Russia 2018 now controls youth academies, commercial partnerships, and stadium development projects. And all these create multiple revenue streams. At 25, he's already thinking like a 45-year-old sports tycoon. And that's exactly why he'll dominate both football and business for decades. 1. David Beckham, Inter Miami CF. At number 1, David Beckham achieved the impossible, transforming a $25 million MLS expansion fee into a $1.2 billion football empire. This English icon didn't just buy a franchise. He negotiated the most lucrative expansion deal in MLS history, securing revenue-sharing agreements and commercial partnerships that most owners never dreamed possible. His Miami Beach penthouse overlooks Biscayne Bay, but Beckham's real wealth comes from understanding that American sports valuations operate on completely different principles than European football economics. Inter Miami's Forbes valuation reached $1.2 billion in 2025, ranking second in MLS behind only Los Angeles FC. Mind you, this is a 4,700% return on Beckham's initial investment in just 6 years. The deal structure surely reveals visionary thinking. Beckham finalized the buyout of previous investors Marcelo Claure and Masayoshi Son, while bringing in Ares Management as a preferred equity partner, all while retaining majority control and decision-making power. If you notice, Beckham's genius lies in ecosystem creation. His Chase Stadium hosts concerts, corporate events, and international friendlies that generate revenue streams completely independent of regular season performance. His messy recruitment was actually strategic brand positioning that increased global merchandise sales by 300% within 6 months. The partnership with Apple TV creates streaming revenue that could reach $100 million annually through exclusive content deals and documentary partnerships that most sport franchises never access. Beckham's Fort Lauderdale training complex spans 50 acres with luxury amenities that attract corporate sponsors willing to pay premium partnership fees for association with his global brand. His lifestyle brand ventures include whiskey companies, fashion partnerships, and real estate developments that leverage his Inter-Miami success across multiple industries. At 50 years old, Beckham controls assets that appreciate faster than most billionaires' traditional investments. So fellas, strategic sports ownership can generate extraordinary wealth for those who understand the game completely. The midfielder who bent free kicks into top corners now bends American capitalism to his will. But which transformation blew your mind the most? Are you really shocked by Beckham's $1.2 billion Miami empire? Amazed by Mbappe's strategic Cayenne takeover at just 25? Or inspired by how Piqué transformed a fifth-tier club into Segunda Division contenders? Drop your thoughts below and tell me which player's business strategy you'd copy. And if you want to see more of the world's richest icons and luxury stories, subscribe right now, because this is where the legends live forever.